My name is Steve Jaussi. I have two children at PRA. I have Jewel Jaussi, who is 12 in 6th grade, and James Jaussi, who is 10 in 4th grade. I have a 3-year-old at home that plans to attend PRA in the future. I am an oil and gas attorney. I love the community involvement at PRA. Every activity I come to, whether it's on the schoolyard, outside, or an assembly, there's always a lot of parents there to support their children. My favorite event of the year is the Veterans Day Assembly. What I love about the Veterans Day Assembly is the parents that come to support their children as they honor our veterans, and we bring in veterans from the community, and our students honor those veterans in the community. So I love how PRA has community involvement where we support the community and the community supports us. So my involvement at PRA is both in the classroom and out of the classroom. I have volunteered to read to the students. I have volunteered to teach them about different traditions in other countries that I've lived in. But the most important involvement I have at PRA is at my home. Every night I go through the homework with my children, make sure their math, their reading, their writing homework is done, make sure they understand it. Whether it's math corrections or math homework, we spend the time every night making sure that they understand the concepts being taught, because I firmly believe the most important education happens in the home, and the teachers are there to help support that. So I have a legal background. I practice law involved in the oil and gas industry, and every day I am dealing with complex legal issues. And one of the skills that I've refined in that industry is learning how to tackle complex situations and come up with reasonable solutions that work for everybody. Oftentimes people think there's a yes-no answer to every question, but in my industry we look at every solution and come up with a reasonable solution that many people may not have thought of, and we get creative to figure out what works for everybody. So with an unlimited school budget, what I would do first is take care of our most important resource, which is our teachers, our staff, and our faculty. Every single person I've met at PRA is a wonderful person. My children have had the greatest teachers. We've had a great experience here. And I want to make sure we retain those teachers and show them our value to them. So I would, number one, have more funds to performance and incentive base our teachers to stay at PRA and build a community around them. If with additional funds, I would love to have additional teachers' aides. When my children were in the elementary school side of PRA, there was one teacher's aide per grade, and they would go between both of the teachers. If each teacher had their own aide and could focus more on their individual class, that would be wonderful, so they can focus on teaching and get the additional help they need. Those aides would have more time to have one-on-one time with children who are struggling. I think spending the money closest to the student and enriching the student through teachers and teachers' aides is where the money would be most well spent. So the most important thing teachers do and the staff does every day is safety, making sure our children are safe. And I think PRA has done a wonderful job at that. Between Officer Chris and the resources we have at the front desk, I would emphasize and keep that priority as number one, is safety. Second is fundamental education. Reading, writing, arithmetic, STEM. Keep into the fundamental education and making sure our children are learning what's important and what helps them advance in their school career and eventually in their workforce and in their eventual career. And also the third priority would be social. I think it's very important for children to have time outside at recess, learning how to interact and problem solve with their friends on the basketball court, on the playground. Because of some education challenges, my son's 4th grade class did not have recess for the first part of this year. I think it's vitally important that those children have that time to not only get their energy out, but to grow socially and learn how to interact with their classmates. So I'm not running for the board because I want to change anything at PRA. I think PRA is a great place. We came here 3 years ago. My children love it. My wife and I love it. We are looking forward to my 3-year-old coming here. That's how much we enjoy PRA. But as I see what's happening in the state of Colorado and some of what's being pushed from the legislature, that's where my concern is. I want to be on the board to help preserve PRA and the mission we have here. I firmly believe that Platte River is a special place, and I want to preserve the goals and the missions that we have here.